You have just recorded your first gameplay video. Now you want to upload it to YouTube. But when you look at your footage, you see a little bit boring and it might not appeal to the YouTube audience. Sit back, relax, and let's check out these 5 easy steps for editing your video so that it looks pro. Let's assume you are already having all the gear to start your YouTube journey. You are one of those guys that don't mind showing their face on screen. Plus, you are exhibiting that confidence that my grandmother does when sucking on one hairless mango on a hot day. And mind you, she doesn't have any teeth. Oh right, so now you have your recorded video, camera feed as well as your gameplay footage. The next step in our journey to the end product that you want to upload to YouTube, remixing your video. First, what you do, you click File, Remix Recordings. You click this 3 dots over here. You select your video you have recorded. You say Open and then Remix. While you wait, while your remix finishes, which is done already, you can go grab yourself some new snacks, refresh yourself, wash your face. After your video has been remixed, click close. What I usually do is clear all items, then I click close. Okay, you go to File, Show Recordings. Then what you will see with your recording, this one is the one that you remixed. You will see the MKV video file, and then the new one, MP4 video file. So you are good to go to the editing process. So let's go. Now that you have recorded your video and it is packaged, your camera feed as well as your gameplay feed, download and install Video Proc Vlogger and open it. You will get to this page. Then you rename your project, your location of your choice. If you record it in 4K, 60 frames per second, you can change this to 4K. But I recorded in 1080p, 60 frames per second, so I'll keep it at 1080p and I will just change it here, 60 frames per second. Just take note, if you record it in 1080p and you upscale it to 4K, your end result will be a little bit choppy and pixelated. So I recommend if you record it in 1080p, just keep it 1080p. You click New Project. Now in your media library here, you locate your files on your PC. You drag that is your camera feed as well as your gameplay footage. Now for the tricky part, because of Video Proc Vlogger doesn't allow 2 video tracks unless maybe the paid version, I don't know, but for the free version, what you do is you drag your camera feed into your video track, you detach your audio so that you have audio of your camera feed in your video. Then you drag your camera feed, which was in the video track, into your overlay track. Now your camera feed is separate from your actual gameplay video, which is this one. If you drag it into here, now you have something like this. If you press play. Okay, so now out of your vast library of games, you have chosen to play one game, Dragon Age the Veilguard. This video, right, now that is what you are sitting with at the moment. This is maybe, for instance, your intro of your video you want to upload on YouTube, and your camera is now taking up the whole picture, which means if you put it onto YouTube and it plays, you will only see this. You don't see any gameplay. Right, to fix that, check this step. Before you start anything, cutting, placing anything else except for your transition into your video. Let me show you this. For simple color editing, go in here. This is on your camera feed now. Right. There's presets over here which indulges in your preference. But I suggest you go here. You maybe put 1, 2 exposure. Say 5 contrast, saturation, according to what you prefer. This is now on your gameplay video as well as your camera feed. You make your whites whiter, you make your blacks blacker. Then you can maybe sharpen it, but not too much. Then it will look grainy. So make that about 250. That's noise. Apply. Now your camera feed over here. It looks awesome. Now what you can do as well, let's crop this quick here. You highlight your gameplay on the timeline here. You go in here as well. You put 1, 2, 3 exposure. Say 5 contrast. Saturation not too much because the game is already having nice colors. Highlights maybe 3. Shadows you make it darker. Whites you make whiter. Blacks you make blacker. Then you sharpen it also, say maybe 250. Apply. Then you would see your gameplay footage just popped. So if you play that now, it's only for the tutorial purposes. I will make a video on my other channel of gameplay. You see, there you have it for enhancing your color in Video Proc Vlogger. Let's go to the next step. Now you have your timeline set up in the preferred manner for editing. To start off, you have your intro of your video that you are editing like this. Okay, so now out of your vast library of games, you have chosen to play one game, Dragon Age the Veilguard. This video that I'm recording here is only for the tutorial purposes. For instance, that's your intro. What I suggest, first of all, you put a transition. You go to transitions over here. You say fade to black. After you placed your transition on your gameplay video, you can do something like this. For instance, you go to your inspector over here, this side. You move down to fade and move. You say fade in. The fade in, move in direction. You click this one. Say for instance 1 second. Then your video should start like this. Okay, so now out of your vast library of games, you have chosen to play one game. Right, now you have that part. What you want to do here is, you select this one. It is already selected, your camera feed. You put a split in there. You select this piece. You say fade out. For instance, this way or maybe that way. Also maybe 1 second, and then it should look like this. Okay, so now out of your vast library of games, you have chosen to play one game, Dragon Age the Veilguard. This video that I'm recording here is only for the tutorial purposes. Now you want to see your gameplay over here. What you want to do, select this whole piece over here. Double click this page, or you can go to the transform button, which is over here, and scale it to this size. You adjust your camera that way and you place it somewhere over there. Now also fade in, you choose from the bottom, from this area here over to there. 1 second. Right, and then it should look like this. Tutorial purposes.
Smart, thoughtful. Love to hear it.
Right, the reason for recording camera and video, gameplay video in separate instances is because you can now manipulate your camera as well as your video the way you want. For instance, cutscenes are playing. You don't want your camera in the cutscene. What you do, you select your camera, You split it over there. You delete this part. Now, when you play this part, recording here is only for the tutorial purposes. Boom. Now your camera feed is out of your video. What you want to do, you want to crop your camera feed in a manner that everybody can see your gameplay. Remember, where you place your camera is crucial because there's maps and indicators, goals, targets showing up on the screen, information about items. In order for you to ensure that your audience is viewing all of that, place your camera in a manner that they can see it all. For instance, we know there's a cutscene playing at the background of our camera feed at the moment. So what you want to do, you double click your camera feed over here, then you reduce your size of your camera feed, place it in a position where you want it, so to speak, angle it up a little bit just for effect's sake. Then what you do, you highlighted this piece. Now you move your camera in from this side, so it will come from over here up there. You make the duration 1 second, right? And it should look like this if you play it from here for the tutorial purposes. Right, now you have your camera situated in a place where you want it for the rest of the gameplay. For instance, let's make an example. If we should skip to where there's actual gameplay, you see, there's reading parts over here and decision making parts over here, and your camera is still situated over here. Say for instance, if you want to move your timeline, just grab hold of this, not here by the play indicator. You click this part, you just drag it over here. Then if you see, here is some gameplay footage. If you should play that now, and then if you play, over here is your map with all of your information of your current objective and goal. Plus here is your camera feed, talking head or whatever you want to call it, over here this side. If you want to move your camera here maybe, then what I suggest you do is you click your camera feed over here, you put a split over there, then in this part over here you click move out direction. Now for instance, you want to move your camera out this way, then you click this one, 40 milliseconds. Boom, gone is your camera. Now you want to put your camera over here. You select this part, you move your camera in from this side. You select your camera over here. You rotate it to the preferred angle you want it. The camera will move out there and come in here. Okay, now you have all your camera tricks and nicks and whatnots and all you have. What you want to do now is, if you cut pieces of your video, say for instance the boring bits, I don't want to see people customize their character for half an hour. When I watch a YouTube video, I skip through those bits unless I just skip the whole video. Let's go to where we were still busy editing our video, right? Okay, if you get to the place where you want to cut your video, you just do the following. Cut all of it, because you don't want to cut your gameplay video and you don't cut your camera feed, because you will run into a problem later on. You will talk like that old karate movies in your video. You will talk, they can see on the screen your mouth is moving but there's no sound, and then your sound comes. So what you want to do, you want to cut the whole thing. What you do is hold in control, you select all of your clips in your timeline, you click on your play header, split, it splits everything down there. So then you can just drag your play header and skip through all of the character customization up until where your game begins again. So when your game restarts over here, you just drag your play header a little bit back, You click split again. You highlight all of these. You press delete. Do you see what happened? Only your video track jumped towards where your first track connected here. So now you have to drag these and connect them. Then you know your video clip is connected properly. Now it won't look natural, and if you do it correctly, when there's talking involved, you must have it spot on. If you have that eye, you can do it roughly, or maybe you can stretch your timeline and check your audio levels and then cut it there. But if you did it correctly, it's not natural. So what I prefer to do for the tutorial purposes, we will just go to the standard stuff I use. Fade to black, you put your transition in over here by your video gameplay. Now because this is an overlay, you can't put a transition in here, but you select this first piece, you say the move out direction, you choose this one, you say fade out. Now to get the proper duration, you go and click your transition over here. Then you will see the duration, it's 3 seconds. So for this purpose, I don't think you should make it 3 seconds. I think it's 150 over here and 150 over here. And let's see what we have.
Just gotta stop him. And that's you come.
You see, proper fade on your video, proper fade on your camera. But remember, this was only for tutorial purposes. You have your coloring correct, you have your camera play correct. What I mean by that is funky tricks with your camera and whatnot. You understand? Now you have learned most of, if not the best tips in editing with Video Proc Vlogger. Let me give you some extra ninja tips. Most of the times you don't want your gameplay video to overpower your voice. So what I suggest, if you select your video over here, then you will see, if you scroll a little bit, you will get to this part, the volume. And then you listen to your voice while your gameplay is playing. If you can hear it like properly, there's no need to do any adjustments. Okay, it seems that I can't skip that. Yes, I can. We're going to skip this and we're going to edit it out of our end product. So the cutscenes, if you want the cutscenes in your video, by all means, like that. If you can hear your voice over your gameplay video properly without adjusting the volume of your gameplay, then it would be awesome just to leave it as is. Unless you prefer no gameplay audio and only your voice. Say for instance, let's make another example. You say add another audio track. Now you have a separate audio track over here. You want to now add separate audio into your video. Instead of your gameplay audio, you grab your audio from where you downloaded it. Don't worry about this when it's on the effects tab. If you drag it into here from wherever you copied it, it will automatically land in your media library. So you drag your audio over here. As you can see from this sound levels, it's overpowering everything there and even there. So you want to eliminate this, not eliminate, replace this. You mute your gameplay video audio, go here. Now because this is a separate audio track, a standalone audio, you can go into audio here and just remove some of the decibels to your preference. If you have it, say for instance like this, you apply. Now it will go more like this. Okay, so now out of your vast library of games, you have chosen to play one game, Dragon Age the Veilguard. This video that I'm recording here is only for the tutorial purposes. You see what I mean? Now you replaced your gameplay video with some external audio that you can download for free, which is royalty free from the YouTube library. That's easy. Like Lionel Richie on a Sunday morning. Okay, you've done all that. This is a rough edit. Don't get me wrong, this is not a masterpiece I'm busy with here. This is for tutorial purposes. Right, now once you are finished with your timeline and you are satisfied with what you have created, you can click export. Previously, before you did anything in Proc Vlogger, you set up 1080p with 60 frames per second. This is the export settings. Your project name is what you named it previously, earlier. This is your location for your final product. The format of your video will be MP4. You can change that to any one you like. I prefer MP4. Quality, you can set whichever one you prefer. Best quality, bigger file. Frames per second 60. Bitrate, we keep it at variable. Your audio, you change it to MP3. Default settings will be AAC, but you can change it to MP3. You change your sample rate to 48 megahertz or gigahertz. Your bitrate 320, and then if you have a decent graphics card that can render faster, you can enable hardware acceleration for encoding. Then you click start. So time has lapsed and your export process is done. What I suggest you do is go watch your video from start to finish. Maybe there's shortcomings in your video, maybe some hiccups that you can still edit out by maybe subtracting or adding elements to your video. From there, you restart your export process and then you will have your immaculate final product. The video I edited in this video was not to upload to YouTube, but just to show you guys how it's done. This is simple steps I'm using, not too much, not too less. So thank you guys for watching, and maybe you will use your own imagination with some nifty awesome tricks that you have up your sleeve. In the next video I will show you how to edit also with simple steps in DaVinci Resolve, but there we will have an awesome time going through these steps. So see you guys in the next one.